White Huns who swept Iran and Western India have inspired a lot of what I would say are pretty tiring debates about what race they were. After all, they were called historically the White Huns, and at points it was believed because of that they were, well, white. Parallel to this are the many linguistic debates about the White Huns' language. The empire's official language was Bactrian, and now extinct East Iranian language, and was conducted in Greek script thanks to the influence of Alexander's empire. But that is most likely because the Keterite and Hepthalite dynasties adapted the already existing language of the Kushan Empire spoken in the region prior to their rise. Indian sources refer to them as the White Huns, the Sveta Huna. But a key historical description of them actually comes from the Eastern Roman historian Procopius, who directly compares and contrasts them to the Huns of Attila who had invaded Rome half a century earlier. He says they don't mingle at all with any of the Huns that are known to the Romans, that they are not nomads like those other Huns, and he specifically writes that they are light-skinned and they have countenances which are not ugly. And he says that they don't live like their kinsmen, they're not as savage, have sophisticated judicial systems, and are ruled by a constitution. This has historically colored our understanding of the White Huns, but it's now believed that Procopius, who never actually saw these Huns and would have been playing a game of telephone across his known world, is making a big inference here. You see, it's now understood that the association of cardinal directions with color symbolism was extremely common among steppe nomads, and west was often symbolized by white. There were also the Red Huns, and this was the southern branch of the Huns, called the Alkan Huns in India. These Huns likely saw themselves as the political continuators of the Xiongnu Empire who had fled westward after their defeat against China centuries earlier. In this paradigm, blue represented east and black represented north, though it's unknown if any other Hunnic groups explicitly identified with those. This whole framework of color symbolism is really fascinating, I think, and there was also a hierarchy of colors, with black and blue often associated with supreme roles over white and red. Given this, it's been argued that one of the supreme leaders of Attila's Huns prior to Attila's reign meant black cloak, Karaton, in one of the Turkic languages likely spoken across these Hunnic peoples. There is such an abundance of anthropological questions that emerge from the fascinating culture of the Eurasian steppe, and if you're interested in how they relate to the history of Hungary, follow me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. And check out the Tour and Explorer podcast, dropping on September 19th.